So this is a situation that happened a couple weeks ago that I meant to talk about when it first happened, but things got in the way and I just never got around to it until now, but here we are. So on this channel, I have never shied away from talking about things related to AI, art, or just about anything in general. And this topic in particular is not going to change anything either. I want to talk about this just as much as everything else, which today's topic is about Gumroad banning not safe for work type of content on their platform, which ultimately leaves a lot of artists now throwing their hands up in the air saying, what do we do now? For those that don't know, Gumroad is a very useful platform, at least in my experience from what I have used it for, which is art resources, whether it be brushes, references, tutorials, you name it. But mainly I always use it to get brushes, but you can host a lot of other content on that website as well too. Let me show you an example. So here's Gumroad's website. I personally don't like this layout. It's fucking gigantic for no reason. I don't like this shit where it's just all spread out, but that's a whole nother pet peeve. But says go from $0 to $1 with Gumroad. Anyone can earn their first dollar online. Just starts with what you know, see what sticks and gets paid. It's that easy. And so then it just tells you all the different things that you can sell on their platform. And it's pretty cool. You know, that it does offer a pretty valuable resource for a lot of people, regardless of what you make that you might think people might find interesting. I'll show you right here. 3D, perfect your craft with the same tools, audio, business, money, comics, design, etc., etc. There's a lot of different things that can be sold on this website. And then what I was referring to earlier, let's say you want some brushes. This is something that I would use it for personally. I go and look up different brushes that I might want to use for the program that I used to draw with. So this is one of the benefits and the only reason I even knew of this website, but there again are a lot of other uses, which is for explicit sexual content, if you will, on the website. But the reason I'm talking about this today is because recently they announced they're not going to have it on their platform no more. They're like, nope, it's not, not allowed no more. Which on my whole Twitter feed for that whole week was just a bunch of artists now post and say, hey, discounts, all this shit's going away. Go buy it up now before it's gone. You know, it's just going away, which it's insane that this is just something that can just be enacted like that. It's just, hey, it's going away immediately. As far as that's the way I was taking it, I don't think that there was like a much time notice for artists to really, you know, come up with a solid plan. There wasn't anything like, hey, all right, in a 1 month's time or 2 months time, we're not going to allow not safe for work content on our platform no more. You're going to have to go somewhere else. Personally, if I had to be honest, I think the best way to go about this would have been, hey, all content that's already on our platform now that is not safe for work, we will honor it. We will keep it on our website. But going forward, any new content that is not safe for work will not be allowed anymore. I think that would have been a good compromise instead of just giving artists a middle finger and say, hey, screw your work. Go somewhere else, buddy. Take all this down now because people aren't happy. When I say people, I mean payment processors. I mean Visa, MasterCard, the conglomerate, the people that have a stranglehold on the whole digital economy when it comes to credit cards and shit like that. It's those people. So in this article right here, TechCrunch actually asked the founder of Gumroad about this whole situation. And the founder said, we have been asked to be more rigorous in enforcing our TOS and must comply. And then TechCrunch did try to ask which company was asking to have a more enforcement on the TOS. And then Gumroad declined to provide that, which I agree with a lot of comments, which is, I think it's kind of shitty that they don't provide it. I think you should be 100% in telling people who is asking for this. Put the company out to the fire. Sit there and let people know, like, hey, this company doesn't like this and we have to unfortunately do this. Because as you continue in the article, here's something it says. It continues on by saying, obviously it sucks to do this. We don't take it lightly that many creators rely on Gumroad for their livelihoods and have communicated that to our partners whenever and wherever we could. We have been around since 2011 and this isn't a new fight, it's ongoing. And here's my thing. I don't doubt the validity of it, that they do fight for it and try the best they can to try and explain that to the people that they're partnered with. But I think there is some form of due transparency and due diligence owed to those people who use your website, because you got to remember, it's not like this website is just hosting all this for free. They do take a cut, and these people have made a livelihood off it, as it just said in their comment. I think there should be at least some due transparency to reveal the name of a company that wants things like this not on their platform. I think it's the least that can be done, especially if you truly do care about this. I don't know, maybe there is something set in the NDA or they're not allowed to disclose it for whatever reason. But if it's a personal reason why they just don't want to, because I guess in a business sense, it's a bad look and could potentially do damage to their business and their reputation, and I guess lose out on a partner, I guess that could be a factor, which is probably the case. But I think it's really shitty. And honestly, I do think that this is a situation where I think revealing the company would do more good than harm, just for the fact of at least people can be more aware, especially those who do make not safe for work content. Because let's be real here, everyone likes sexual content, all right? Whatever your preference might be, whatever type of content you might like, everybody has some form of content that they like to some extent, and people consume porn and anything of that caliber all the time online. Let's be real here, this is nothing brand new. And it's just so wild to see all these websites always have to comply to payment processors or certain partners and just be like, nah, we don't want, we can't have any type of sexual content on our platform, even though it's not like it's at the front of the website. It is not like a big banner where you see a girl with just gigantic boobs or titties just flashing in your face the second you go to Gumroad. It's none of that, dog. It's literally not. It's not like it's pushed. It's just if people go out of their way to find it. So why have those people get penalized? Those creators get penalized for creating content that they enjoy, and clearly other people did as well too, especially if they were making a living off this website. I hate seeing this time and time again because it just continues to happen to more websites. And the reason why I get passionate about this is because I don't like seeing people's content be, I guess you could say, censored, right? Because that's being almost in a sense censored. Because in a way, this is essentially being censored. You cannot have your content uploaded to this website, and now you must go somewhere else. But the thing is, the second you go to another website, you stay there for a certain amount of time, then they're going to sit there and block it too. They'll be like, hey, our payment processors don't want on this website either. Go somewhere else. And then eventually there will be no place to go other than Twitter. But Twitter isn't really a place where you're trying to make a business and sell your art on that actual website. But I wouldn't be surprised if that happened one day. But you get the point I'm saying. Anyways, I just want to talk about this because this constant war against sexual content online, as if it should just be sent to the shadow realm, into a fucking corner, is wild to me. As others have stated, I don't think that payment processors should have any power whatsoever on what a website can have on their website. If they want to sit there and use Visa, MasterCard, especially because it's only a conglomerate, it's not like there's a whole bunch of different payment processors and different companies that you can work with that you really want to. It's not really that open. You are literally pretty much strangled and at a chokehold to use only a select few. And because said payment processors have a stranglehold, where are you going to go? Who else can you use? So you're pretty much forced to comply with what their guidelines are, when again, they shouldn't have any power to dictate what you can and cannot allow on your website. As many other people have pointed out, it should be a neutral situation. They shouldn't have any say at all when it comes to that situation. But again, maybe I'm just delusional. Maybe I just don't know this type of space that well when it comes to payment processors and the legality behind it and all the different shit. Maybe there's just a deeper understanding that I don't get. But personally, from my perspective, if artists are sitting there selling nude content, sexual content, and people are eating that shit up and they're buying it, who gives a fuck? Let it be. As long as it's perfectly fine and there's nothing like that's like going into illegal territories and shit like that, then I don't see what the possible issue could be, personally. But again, maybe I'm just really naive and there's things that I'm not understanding and that I'm not seeing. But from what I can see here, in this situation, I don't think that is right for payment processors or their partners in this situation to sit there and enforce a stricter TOS and a harder stance on guidelines to remove sexual content. I think that's just taking it too far. And I think it would have been better to allow it and then maybe have different types of rules or guidelines that pertain to sexual content, but still allow it at the same time. I think that would have been a great compromise. And then add on top of this, the fact that it's just out of nowhere. It's just like, hey, not safe for work content, going away, dog. We're not allowing it no more. Instead of giving the time for artists and again other people who make this type of content to have time to prepare and figure out a strategy and a game plan, you didn't even get that, and it's really fucked up. I think that all things considered, I really think they could have fought for at least a window of 1 month or 2 months, 3 months to allow people time to adjust and figure out what they want to do for their livelihoods, as said in the same message. I guess for any artists that are watching this that does make not safe for work art, or just in general, there was a post here by Just for Fans that says, attention Gumroad not safe for work artists, we're sorry to hear that you're being deplatformed. Come over to JFF. We just added a new artwork category for you, and you can add other features you need, but as is, you can sell your artwork on your JFF store and make that pretty much, hey, you getting screwed over by this website, come over to ours. So at least there's something, at least artists can go somewhere else. But overall, it's still a situation that should never happen to begin with, at least in my personal opinion. But I just wanted to talk about this. Anyways, you made this far into the video. Consider giving a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below what you think. Have a great day. Yeah.